new investor.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D straight, last half an hour of trade. Well, we've been seeing a lackluster movement all through the day, but will anything change towards the end of the session is something that we will focus on. Of course, which are the sectors that are buzzing in trade, the stocks that are moving in trade, and what should be your strategy on those. Of course, the markets are keeping a keen eye out on the Q4 earnings, which have had a tepid or a muted start or a disappointing start to say the least. But going forward, will things improve and which are the sectors that you should keep on your radar? We'll also get you expert views on all of that and much more. But first up, a quick check on how the markets are moving at this point in time. Look at the Nifty and the SENSEX, both are dragging a little further now, but 0.3% of a cut can actually be seen on both these indices, with the Nifty slipping below the 17,700 mark now, 47 points of a loss for that one. Look at the SENSEX as well. There's a cut of almost 180 points, 59,727, the current level at which the Sensex is moving lower as well. When we talk about the broader markets, the mid and the small cap 100 indices, to see whether this spillover effect is being seen on that one. There was a cut for sure, but there's slight recovery happening from the lowest point of the day, and the small cap 100 index is moving up by 0.3 odd percent. The mid cap 100 index also, if you keep an eye out on that, there's a sharper move on the upside for that one, and a recovery which is much faster for that one. About 0.75% of a move on the upside is what we can spot for that one too. Among the sectoral indices, the various sectors that are moving in trade today, we were seeing that, far and few between sectors were still holding up despite the muted trend throughout the trading session, including the sectors of Realty, for example. Some of the sectors including pharma was moving up as well. So in fact, the pharma stocks have actually picked up pace. 1.7% of an upside can be seen for that one, 1% up for the Realty pack as well. Apart from this, you can also see slight movement in the metals pack. Autos are flat absolutely at this point in time. The IT stocks in fact have recovered after the sharp fall that we actually saw yesterday. The Nifty IT is now up by half odd percent, led by recovery in some of the big heavyweights, like even Infosys is recovering slightly, HCL Technologies is recovering slightly as well. So some of these stocks are actually moving up. You can see that they've moved up from the lowest point of the day, which was seen closer to the morning hours. But right now, as we speak, we are at the highest point of the day as far as the Nifty IT is concerned. So that aberration seems to be going behind us for sure at that time as well. Apart from this, you're also seeing some movement coming in on the PSU banks, on the private banks, and the financial services in fact are now down in trade as well. FMCG has in fact moved to the lower point of the day as well. So we'll keep an eye out on all these movements as we move along the show as well. Let's welcome our show guest for the day. We have Mr. Kranthi Bathini joining in from WealthMills Securities. Mr. Bathini, welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Overall on the markets, how are you looking at the current texture of the markets? We did see a sharp move on the downside after those 9 days of continuous movement, and this was led by largely the fall in the IT stocks, especially Infosys, and the downgrades that came from the brokerage houses on that stock that dragged the sentiments. The markets are down for the second day in a row today. How are you looking at the sentiments?
Yes, actually, markets are in a consolidation phase. As we mentioned in our earlier show, market need to go above 70,800 level. That's where the crucial resistance zones are there for the market. So it could not able to sustain or could not able to stay above that level. So that's what we are witnessing is some kind of profit booking and also some kind of consolidation in the medium term, because markets have been going up on a consecutive day basis, nearly more than 9 trading sessions. But one good thing right now, what we can see is the show is not in index. We can see the resilience we can see in mid and small cap indices also. Uh, we can see some kind of stocks which were on a sleeping mode from a quite a long time. So we can see some kind of resilience with respect to the mid and small cap stocks in the past few trading sessions. But overall, all eyes are on earnings season. We have not seen any kind of blockbuster or euphoric earning commentary that's coming from the companies so far declared the results. Of course, we are just first few days of the earnings season. We need to see how the earnings season is going to progress to. If the earnings, if we can see some kind of blockbuster kind of results, we can, if we are seeing from banking and financial services or capital goods, engineering and construction, we need to wait and watch, keenly observe the earnings season. Ultimately, earnings season is going to lead the markets from here.
Yeah. That's true. Some of the pockets that are actually picking up pace, let's focus on that. I wanted to take your view on the pharma and the healthcare space. There is a bounce, in some of these stocks as well. Many of them are also part of the top Nifty 50 gainers in today's trading session as well. We're seeing very, very sharp move coming in on a stock like Lupin, for example. It's up by 6% today. Even stocks like Divis Laboratories that have been in momentum, we're seeing 3.5% uptick for that one. Oro Pharma up 3.5%. Glenmark up 3% as well. Apart from this, Granules is up, Pfizer is also up in trade as well. Most of the stocks, in fact, if I look at the Nifty Pharma Index, almost all of the stocks, barring a few and far between, barring say Gland Pharma, Sanofi, Natco Pharma, the rest of the stocks are all up into the green, and sharp moves can be seen for that one. How are you looking at this space? Is it because of the COVID-19 cases rising again that you're seeing again some movement on the pharma stocks, or are things moving structurally for this for this index and this space after a long haul of underperformance?
What we can see, evaluate from pharma index, actually, the stock valuations are looks very attractive. Most of the stock names you discussed, like Lupin, Divis, and all, and we can expect some kind of uptick from the results of pharma companies also. So some kind of value buying we are witnessing in pharma stocks from couple of days time. One day we can see some kind of spots and buying interest is getting emerged with respect to the pharma stocks are concerned. Altogether, the money is chasing where there is a value. So there is some kind of bargain hunting that's happening in pharma stocks right now. But as you said, is there any relation with the COVID-19 cases that are going up? It's completely premature to say right now. But with respect to stock markets are concerned, with respect to the stock prices are concerned, it's purely value buy that's happening in the pharma names.
Okay. Any particular names that you're looking at?
At this point of time, Divis looks interesting, and investors with a high risk appetite also look companies like Laris. But one need to keenly observe the results of Q4 quarter, extremely
Sure.
important. But Divis, one can keep on their radar.
Sure. Another pocket that I wanted to discuss is the realty pack. I mean, the realty space is really up and about. We are seeing on a day which is muted as far as the benchmark indices are concerned. Stock like DLF has hit a 52-week high, and that's still rising up even now as we speak. We've seen the stock has, now inched up closer to, kind of 434 kind of levels. We're seeing a 470 kind of levels also on the stock. Let's look at DLF right now to see what is the momentum going on right now for DLF. It's 425 currently, 2.32% of an upside. So it's actually inching closer to its all-time highs as well of 470 or so. Your thoughts on the stock and on the realty space if you're looking at it positively?
Yes, actually, reality space is a surprising move, and I can say it's a paradoxical move. When the interest rates are going up and when there is a tightening of the liquidity across the industries, but in India, reality stocks are completely contrarian to the normal ordinary view or normal ordinary economic parlance. So what we can see that outperformance in names like DLF, of course, these numbers declared by these companies are quite phenomenal in a high interest rate regime. So if in next RBI monetary policy reviews, RBI, if they are maintaining a status quo, or in couple of quarters later, if we are entering into a low interest rate regime, we can see some kind of outperformance with reality index going to continue over a period of time. So it's a very interesting space to right now. Existing investors can stay on invested in these companies, and any dip also one can take positions in reality stocks are concerned.
Yeah, for DLF, the stock has risen more than 8% in 1 week and over 20% in a month as well. So there's been a sharp move right here. Do you believe the stock is right now in an overbought zone, or do you still believe that the upside is intact?
Sakshi, the kind of numbers the company is coming up with, their sales are concerned, stock is in a outperformance zone. So one can keenly observe how the results are going to pan out, and stock can continue its outperformance going ahead also in the coming days.
Okay, and your preferred choices as far as the Realty pack is concerned, is DLF on top of your radar as well?
Yeah, DLF also is on our top of our radar. One can look at companies like Godrej Properties also. They can keep on their radar, which have a pan India presence right now. So these are the few names one can look forward in reality index is concerned. Also, Macrotech also one can keep on their radar.
Macrotech developers, Godrej Properties and DLF. These are the three choices that you are positive on as far as the Realty pack is concerned. And looking at the positive business sentiment right here, this sector is likely to be in momentum. But earnings will definitely give us a clearer picture as we move forward from here. Another stock that actually came into news again is ITC yesterday after breaking that 400 mark as well, and record levels being seen for that one as well. And we've been looking at how GQG Partners, the company that recently invested in Adani Group of stocks, has also raised its stake in ITC as well. It's at an all-time high level. If I compare with the valuations of the other FMCG majors like a Nestle or a Britannia or HUL, it still looks very cheap. But despite this kind of a move and outperformance that we've seen on ITC, how are you looking at this stock? Is it still a buy?
Definitely, Sakshi, ITC have just a, if you observe just a few quarters back, I can say 7, 8 quarters back, there was beams that used to come on ITC. But contrary to the street view, ITC have become an outperformer, and it's standing tall in these kind of sluggish markets. Also, ITC could able to make its 52-week high and shown its outperformance. So the stock can continue its outperformance with respect to their FMCG business, and also the core business of cigarette manufacturing also is helping the company. Overall, FMCG is the sector and the segment where we can expect some kind of outperformance. But the company have given a detailed presentation a year back with respect to their business model and unlocking value from the ITC verticals is concerned. That's what the overhang on this company. We need to wait and watch how the management could able to do the value unlocking from ITC businesses are concerned, like
Got it.
hotels and other allied businesses in ITC. So it can continue its outperformance. Definitely, any dip with respect to ITC is concerned, one can chip in into ITC at these market valuations also.
Sure. Another stock that I wanted to discuss with you is a new entrant into the stock markets with its listing today. I'm talking about Avalon Technologies that got a muted listing today in the morning trading session after lower than expected demand for the IPO. We also saw a mild listing, on the exchanges today. The shares got listed at 431 rupees. On BSE against the offer price of 436 rupees. And even now as we speak, the stock in fact slipped about 11% intraday and is right now trading about 8% lower and around 396 odd levels as well. In fact, it touched day's low level of 387 as well in today's trade. But I wanted to understand from you, how are you looking at this new listing, and why the muted listing on the first day, and is there anything that investors should watch out for? Those who had got the IPO allotment, what should they be doing? And any of those who were interested in investing in the shares post listing, what would be advice for them?
Last few quarters, Sakshi, the flavor of IPOs have been coming down. The
Yeah.
retail appetite has came down definitely with respect to the IPO listings are concerned. Avalon looks like it's a decent business model with respect to power infrastructure and other electric manufacturing services are concerned. When will I take a call on these companies? Definitely, I will look forward for the next couple of quarters results, and at appropriate time, one can take the decision to enter into the company. But at this point of time, just wait and watch, and how the first quarterly earnings of this company post listing, we need to wait and watch and take a call. But overall, the business model looks very interesting. But at this point of time, as the risk appetite is very less on the street, that's the reason we can see the tepid listing with respect to Avalon is concerned at this point of time.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. Bathini, for being with us and discussing with us all these stocks and sectors and the outlook on markets as well. We'll continue to touch base with you to understand more about the market movement going forward and the opportunities that are emerging for the investors at large. Right now, the markets are still drifting lower. If we talk about the levels on the SENSEX, for example, it's down now by 175 points. 0.3% of a cut can be seen for that one, 59,730. The Nifty is also trading at 17,660 with a cut of 46 odd points, about a 0.25% of a loss for the markets. We're about 10-12 odd minutes away from the closing, but it looks like it could be another day when we could shut shop in the red zone again. But we'll keep an eye out on the movements and stock markets. Don't forget to, until then, thanks for tuning in.
To welcome you again at the Apple Store in BKC. Let me take you inside to give you a first look of this absolute marvel of architecture here in Mumbai. We've shown you